Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I do truly appreciate you coming out tonight for what is sure to become a cultural moment of shift where we take back our collective power. You see, I go by many names, but tonight you're getting the realest me there is. So for this evening, y'all can call me MC Jones. And I'm going to navigate you through what is lyrically, poetically a call to action, to rise up and partake in this revolution that is upon us. As we move further into the era of uncertainty and darkness, it's incumbent upon us to do one thing and one thing only. Don't let the protest die. What is a protest? Is it a movement where you march down the street hand in hand with the expectations of addressing a grievance? Is it an act of desperation, destruction, and defiance when you find yourself once again on the opposite end of oppression? Is it a fight? Is it a resistance? Is it just a mere existence? Is it a protest to just exist in a society that deems you unworthy? You see, I've come to understand that it's all of the above and so much more. It's the cause of no justice, no peace. It's the forms of economic boycotts and silent solidarity. It's the organizing in the community amongst the opposition down the street. It's holding your face up high, unapologetically as you stare down the barrel of injustice, full of the bullets of iniquity. With each shot, another traumatic reminder that Band-Aids don't cover bullet wounds. You see, protests stop the bleeding. It's the remedy for the infection. It's a declaration of your bodily autonomy. It's an exploration of your self-identity. It's a celebration of your willingness to continue. A protest can be as loud as a sonic boom or as quiet as a thought. You see, we protest with the intention of enacting change. We protest with the intention of inspiring the youth. We protest so that the conditions are acknowledged, not dismissed, and finally addressed. We protest because it's the one thing the establishment cannot take: our lived experiences. The accumulation of our collective pain is way heavier, a burden for them to bear than for us to carry. So we must strive forward even when the protest is falling on deaf ears. Even when the protest is waning in the night, we must continue to hold that torch bright. For a protest is a coalition, a group of allies connected through spirit and interlocked through belief. A protest is an agreement. It's an acceptance. It's a recognition. It's a bond that is forged through the fight that sits deep within the soul of each and every participant. A protest isn't a moment, because a protest is every moment. Every moment your existence threatens the status quo is a moment of protest. So don't hold back. Your voice is the instrument of protest, and your cries are the sounds of protest. So cry if you must, because that is not weakness. That is strength. The strength to admit that it's too much in the moment, but that moment will pass. And when it does, remember, the protest doesn't stop when you're not being heard. The protest stops when we give up our words. Hey, so privatized prisons, they be like, yo, we need some more merchandise. And the cops, right? They be like, fuck them. I mean, they don't even deserve their rights. We'll send them all to y'all. but for the perfect price. So how is this not slavery when they can still purchase life? See, I'd be nervous, like scared to even park on the curb at night because I might get mistaken for some kind of burglar type. They're not concerned with my state of being. Hell, if I even make it home, they just want me off of the street so they can feel safe in their zone. Say I make them uncomfortable. But no, it's not my race at all. I just somehow fit the description of someone they just saw. Same hair, clothes, body type, face, and all. That's what made them place a call to the stankin' law. Pretty soon, the cops involved, or the shots involved, or they haul them off to a privatized prison to absolve them all. But the realization of institutionalization isn't rehabilitation is lost on them all. So the problem is not solved. So back to the board to draw, but nah. Let's give him a deal that's raw. Give him a little money. Throw a parade in the fall, but in the background, we keep the system still flawed. And for that, y'all, I just have to applaud. No, I mean a standing ovation for convincing the people that you're protecting the nation, the government, the driving foundation for providing salvation. Well, that was sarcasm if you ain't catch what I'm saying. I mean, they should be ashamed of the mistakes that they've been making because whenever they're mistaken, well, that means lives are being taken. Families are breaking and it's way past devastating. You keep promising to make a change, but this shit ain't never changing. You just keep chaining people up inside of these cells so these privatized prisons can keep on upping their cells. Now the mind's institutionalized as it don't know nothing else. All the potential it once possessed is now rusting on the shelf. What the motherfucking hell is the reason to send another one to jail? Lose them in the system so no one can fund their bail while y'all sitting back looking at this like it's motherfucking swell. I'm like, damn. To y'all, it's just a game. And no matter how we play, the score will never change. Just the players in the uniforms. You know, the orange jumpsuit with the number on the front looking like a jersey? And now, like James, they are worthy to get their position and the team that they play for? Any one of America's privatized prisons. So I have a question, and this question is directed to an individual that is an accumulation of a whole bunch of things we hate. So we can only call this individual by one name, and that one name is Sinner Man. And the question that I have for the Sinner Man is, how can you face yourself when you look into that mirror? How does your conscience remain clear when it's so impure? How dare you tell me not to have confidence in my stride, to have pride in my step and my head held high? Why? Must you live wealthy as I struggle to survive? Are there not enough pieces of the pie? We know there's enough time. Between you and I can see through the disguise, through the lies hidden deep within your mind, behind those eyes, you sinner man. Fabricating the truth, exaggerating the proof, charities that don't share the fees, masquerading for the youth, pastors passionately passing passages as collection plates pass through pews, dashing and ravishing as they look attractive in their brand new suits, false idols placed upon pedestals, possessing power within sacred symbols, religious, theological, dogmatic doctrine disguised as spirituality, the chosen people left with a broken ego as all their hope is stolen, conversations of complications given to congregations to keep them going. You sinner man. Capitalistic corporations capitalizing on the supply and demands of a free market. Cookie cutter assembly lines to manufacture their cheap product. These outlets outsourcing the output, leading us to only one outcome, putting stock into the stock market, then market while watching the Dow run. CEOs compensated with extra pay while the workers work like slaves. Employees putting in a maximum effort for a minimum wage. Rich tycoons with 65 rooms and all the luxuries provided with ease. 1% living well while the other 99 are dying on their knees. You sinner man. Can't forget the television that watches people as it programs channels within the mind. It conditions through repetitious subscriptions which are subconsciously subscribed. Teenage pregnancies are glorified as the ratings soar for 5 quarters. Celebrity scandals served on a plate with scandalous side orders. Falsified reality shows contributing to the epidemic of ignorance. Political correctness, the viewers complaining about offensiveness. Biased agendas perpetuated by political views on both sides. That's because journalism and journalistic integrity have all passed with time. You sinner man. Y'all ever see those mindless robots wandering the world looking for a connection? Hidden behind a screen for protection with a fear of rejection? Part of the social collection, living off of preconceived perceptions? Popularity contests, campaigning for likes just like an election? Profile pictures pressed up and poised and airbrushed to perfection? Following the lives of others while trying to find some direction? Selling out on morals while claiming that they are the exception? Doing whatever to impress but leaving the wrong impression? You sinner man. Y'all see that condescension of politicians while politicking to win the ticket? The representatives that misrepresent the rest of the people that sent it? The disguised institution of lies, genocide as a war for the debts? The militarized forces breaking the laws that they swore to protect? They poison our minds, then they censor the speech, wiretapping the phones, hearing all that we speak, promoting the fast lane with fast food, speeding to a fast death, toxins mixed with the water, robbing people of their last breath. You sinner man. You see, we stigmatize women and guys based off of what we see. Upon a high horse, thinking we're as perfect as can be, judging everyone around us till we're finally feeling better, picking choosing institutions that are separating us forever, claiming foolish behavior by saying it's human nature, creating tools for hatred with this misuse of language, making statements of rudeness mixed with the rumors, causing people to assume that the foundation is breaking. You sinner man. Oh, and I can't forget the public defenders that can't defend the public's best interest. Crack and cocaine, exactly the same, yet coke gets a less sentence. Hung, stoned, shot, raped, beat, choked, and electrocuted. Police, well, they're now the judge and jury while the sentence is executed. Speculations without the investigations. Separations for the desperation. No reparations for the generations for all the slave labored on plantations. Land of the free. Yet so many people are calling prison a home. I guess that's why the courts are claiming it's justice for just us and just us alone. Um, so Project 2025, it said something along the lines of wanting to restore the family at the centerpiece of American life and protecting the children. Actually sounds kind of good till you find out what's hidden. A whole bunch of coalitions created to be some bigots talking this and that about conservative contradictions. So that means no abortions with no exemptions. And the words that they be twisting, it's like they never seem to be uplifting. It's like the only kind of prescription that will solve all these addictions is to strip all of our freedom in the name of independence. Well, let them claim it's about preserving and conserving their scriptural texts. They talk systematically being biblical from spiritual to flesh. If you hear it, it's a mess. Nothing less than an assault on the First Amendment and a misuse of the word bless. Basically, this last portion, well, that's a religious test where if you confess to all of this, you get treated best. But if you're a dissident, then you might really get sentenced to death, and that could go for independent media or members of the press. And sure, it might not happen, but do you really want to guess? Because if you ain't right, well, you know what's left. So we can all agree, fighting back, well, that's a definite need. Because the man that they praise, hell, they wouldn't let him be free. I mean, for heaven's sake, they probably deport him because he'd be looking like me, a black man with long hair from the motherland of the trees. So that white, blue-eyed, brown-haired picture feels like y'all trying to deceive. I mean, if it's all about the need to believe, why you feel the need to pass it off as if he was some pale-skinned, blue-eyed Caucasian in the Middle East? I mean, wiggle, please. It was like 150 degrees, and they ain't have SPF 40 for your elbows and knees. And I say that to say, when it comes to Jesus, I just feel like y'all ain't really seeing him. Because he walked around healing folks, never asking for a premium. He wasn't defunding the schools. Nah, he was teaching them. He wasn't letting them starve because he was too busy feeding them. And he wasn't following the blind because he was leading them. So I think y'all got him twisted from his history to his depictions in the media because he was a radical, socialist, revolutionary who believed in the people. And your conservative ideology just doesn't match up to what he would have done. So maybe you should find a new mascot because I just don't think he is the one. Fuckboy 47. Fuckboy. Noun. A goofy, bum-ass, narcissistic man-child with no real contribution to society outside of the legacy of their own incompetence. Moron, imbecile, dumbass, stupid are all words that are synonymous with the fuckboy and coincidentally exemplify the overall being of Donald Trump. And if things weren't already tragic, man, here come this pompous, arrogant, narcissistic bastard with his clan of MAGA hat wearing savages to craft a plan so bad with this broken, unlatched cabinet, which really ain't gonna do anything other than some backward ass tactics with some trash ass antics, and somehow his fanatics believe it'll turn out fantastic, and I just can't grasp this shit. Man, I had to take an aspirin. Then I got back to throwing them words like a javelin in the air as they flew, watching America from a bald eagle's perch and a bird's eye view. See, I don't swerve, I cruise. I don't learn from the news. That's how you earn yourself the blues, because they couldn't be further from the truth and from the church into the pews. It gets worse within the schools, and well, here we are, back again. But I guess, that's kind of how it goes. The way political thing flows, we have no highs and a whole lot of lows. Plus, they got some very scary methods and goals to leave you unprotected and exposed. But that's what a fuckboy does. And there isn't any exceptions to the roles. Just a messy, extra petty action, somewhat deadly, but they perfected it so everybody has to accept it and roll. Because if you speak out, well, you get hit with a plethora of trolls, unsexed and ready to blow. I mean, alpha males, incels, the rest of the red pill, testosterone, television bros. The ones that rely on flexing the dough because they just lack the intelligence, so they have to manipulate and create a way to turn self-help into a television show. But let me tell you what I know. Self-confidence does not come from supplements. And they will never be right, no matter how loud them Trumpers get. Just give them another bumper stick that says Trump ain't shit, just a fuckboy like the rest of them punk-ass Republicans, then be done with it. Oh, one last thought. Could we stop electing every fuckboy to our government? Yo, fuck yo hashtag. Because we don't give a damn, man. Changing your profile pic like that's a grand plan, bruh. Toss that emoji in the trash can. We need action, something to make sure this type of shit don't happen. But when we ask when, y'all say shit done changed. Using that past tense, but we past pits, ready to slam fists over this white and black shit. So what's up? Another police department coming up corrupt, hiding evidence and letting it compile dust, and no one makes a fuss. Apparently, because it's only happening to us. Y'all mad I'm bringing it up. Like, damn, man, enough is enough. See, I'm tired of saying things and you tired of listening. So no, we are not the same. You tired of hearing about black deaths and I'm tired of feeling them. So no, we are not the same. You're tired of the movement, but I'm trying to lead it. So no, we are not the same. Oh yes. How is it cool when white people protest? It's like when that happens, we can understand the context. But when black folks doing it, they just being mad and upset. I mean, it's like them double standards been working double time as the racist ghost from the past keeps trying to come alive. But what if I did the same thing? Would it bring the same pain? Like, what if I did a Dylan Roof? Would you act like it's okay because you didn't see me shoot? Or because I just got done praying with you? Or what if I pulled a George Zimmerman and turned a little white boy into a Trayvon? Would you tell the mother it's okay and just stay strong? See, when them tables are turned, it's like y'all don't want to get served. Well, here's a plate full of food for thought with a side of dessert. Since you thought shit was sweet, thought you was hungry, now you ain't got the nerve, but got the audacity to tell us react rationally when we see another dead black body collapse in the street, acting like it isn't actually a travesty, can't feel the gravity, but want to try to hold us down when you see the videos on your absent screen. Karen, please. And barbecue Becky. I'm sorry, it's funny when it's them jokes, but it's not funny when it's the next thing. When cops make unarmed black folks' necks bleed, protected by their vests, yelling he's a threat, not even a felon yet, and trying to split his head into three. It's like it's been going on for so long, yet you just push it aside as if it was no problem. We were saying black lives. And then they said all lives. And they turned into landmines for the Civil War times. And the sad thing is all we really wanted is peace. The main reason Kaepernick went and taken a knee only took another 30 people being killed for you to finally agree. But it's cool for white folks to take guns and storm the police because, well, they thought the election was stolen and breached. And we just trying not to get killed while jogging the streets. And they calling us the terrorists. But it's apparent that these racist kids be getting their racist views from their racist parents. But still be swearing they don't be staring at her hair and glaring with an eye full of guilty embarrassment every time they're sharing another racist post made by cousin Karen. They want to get defensive and recite stereotypes like a parrot. Still chasing metaphorical carrots, yelling out talking points, but I can't hear it. So listen, you either speaking up or you're piping down because we got enough enemies trying to fight us now. But guaranteed, we won't throw in the whitest towel. We'll never give up, give in, or give way to the lighter crowd. But understand, this isn't a threat or a warning or an instigation. It's just a critique of how you live in this nation and how every racist situation is another tear in the fabric of the blanket statements you're making. Because we're so tired of wishing you would awaken to the aching that's plaguing the minority population, taken for granted, shaken and battered, handed disaster after disaster with no preparation, hated and degraded, so blatant with hatred, how it escapes and exchanges amongst the angriest of faces. So what I'm saying is karma isn't playing. It's just been ducked down low, laying, waiting, with anticipation for the weakened souls to become strengthened, become more brazen when explaining ways of their disdainment and radical they are with their changes. So I guess now it's time we make them. You see, we need to dismantle the white supremacist legislation that keeps people from enjoying their recreation just because their skin color has darker shading. I'm saying we need to engage in campaigns that are aimed with rage towards discrimination. We need to claim stake in our fate before we fall into a state of devastation. We need to make great on the late slate of proposed reparations, and we need to create change instead of trying to debate the situation. So what I'm saying is that it's no longer time for writing papers. We're trying to persuade people with the words that we have been arranging. That time was in the beginning, and this time is feeling like the ending. So yeah, it's fuck your hashtag. Because what's the point of a hashtag if these bodies keep on trending? Democrats, y'all motherfuckers do not deserve my vote. Republicans, calm down. You ain't even in the conversation, bro. I'm talking to the ones that claim to represent the left, yet won't ever do the things that they're told unless it comes from a lobbyist or a donor or is covered in gold. But I guess the game is to be sold, honestly. You know, the game that y'all be playing now, that's pretty cold, but hopefully all the failures of leadership have finally let all these flaws get exposed. So first, Nancy, I appreciate it, but shoddy, just go. I mean, your whole crew just hit the fucking road, cuz it's like you just don't know. You've been in so long and you have nothing to show. Just a couple CNN highlights and some witty remarks from a couple decades ago. And see, this isn't just about Pelosi. This is about holding the Democrats accountable for constantly fucking the home team. So let's see what we got. I mean, we gave it the best shot, but maybe now it's time we start thinking about how we can make the bleeding stop. It's like most of your tactics and schematics end up in a loss. It's like since you're elitist, you don't actually know the cause. It's like somehow you think we're the worker and you're the boss, but we elect you, not the other way around. We send you to the Capitol hoping you won't let us down. You run on progressive ideals because you know how they sound, then get in office and fuck over everybody that lives in your town. And this ain't about black, white, red, yellow, or brown. It's about being consistent with the policies that you found that resonate with the base and then starting them now. Because how? You got the unmitigated gall to tell us vote Democrat or non. I'm like, when is the Democrat going Democrat? Because most of the ones involved be appealing to the establishment rather than trying to make it fall or even better for all. And I thought that was the call. And speaking of calls, let's get Obama on the phone once again. Have him come to Atlanta and see how many votes we can get. I mean, I really think the brother is as dope as it gets, but I can't comprehend why we celebritize politicians and make them the focus of the clip. Shouldn't it be socials about locals and helping them be vocal about this shit? Don't you contend that by making people feel connected, you can start mobilizing within? I guess you're not really hoping to win. It's just another way to appease the donors again, so y'all can waste all of our funds at these stupid ass donor events. And the closer it gets to every election cycle, you start pandering, talking about the boldest of shifts from healthcare to criminal reform. It'll go on the list. But when you're in office, it's like those polls don't exist. So let me tell you, because I hope you know this, that we blame you for half of the fact that we have this cold hopelessness, the political apathy that causes these folks to dissent, and the lack of acknowledgement that you hold these people's hope in your fists. So fuck it. I'm going to close it with this, because I'm speaking on behalf of the people that knows what it is. And I hope one day that this movement can all coincide with all of the ones that know that it's time. So no more joking. You want to be the one that's chosen on the day that we're voting? How about you fucking show up with a spine? Um, so somewhere else in Project 2025, they say some other shit about They want to dismantle the administrative state and giving self-governance to the people. And honestly, sometimes I'm like, me too. And then I realize we can't give power like that to folks so evil, because aren't these the same ones that keep redefining the word legal? So it's not like they're trying to be equal. They just want to get away with methods more lethal. And I swear their lies are pretty see-through, because I just don't think they're trying to give back power to the people. Because that real power to the people, well, that looks like co-ops and workshops, community vendors that just pop up in a spot like, what you need, I got. It looks like community gardens and community markets. It looks like a barter system or having bargains. It's about a community standing strong, held accountable when something is wrong, and filled with culture from the words to the song. You see, real power to the people is about self-determination. It's a firm congregation. It's about the worth of a nation, but not in the terms of wealth. Power to the people is seen in their health. Are they physically capable? Are they mentally stable? Are they rich in the spirit? Do they have good food on their table? Do they control the narratives that they see on their cable? Do they have authoritarian rulers like a Musk or a Bezos? No, power to the people is deeper than riches. It's deeper than wealth, and it's deeper than business. It's a commitment to be better every day in each and every way, to lead by example and to never ever sway. So I'm a little cautious when I be reading the things that they say, because they don't want to give power, they want to take it away. So day by day, the bigger picture keeps getting torn inside the frame. The rights that we had are now being killed and slain. With every bill that's made, they just let it fill the grave or let it sit and waste rather than sit and engage with the issues that plague the citizens in the state. And if that's really the case, how are they giving power back to the people? Because you see, real power to the people, it looked like the Black Panthers and had the exact answers on how to dismantle the establishment status. It's about having a strategy, but also being down for whatever happens. That's why they was packing and never lacking, because they wanted peace. But they was down to get it cracking with action, and that's when they had to pull a Fred Hampton. So that's why you should hesitate when they're making statements about shifting them power dynamics, because they aren't giving power back to the people. It's just another attempt at the snake oil salesmen to deceive you. So y'all do Me Too, solids, and stay woke. But also, when you get the information, make sure you read through, because that's the only way that you will see truth. And if you need to, reach deep inside your spirit, put your fist in the sky, and scream power to the people. So I want to talk about the word woke. Yeah, I know, nowadays this becomes somewhat of a joke. It used to mean something different some years ago, but now the grifters took the word and they just use it to stroke the fears and insecurities of the Republican folk, misrepresenting it with every word that they spoke. And now I'm like, yo, from Ben Shapiro to Jordan Peterson, I just really wish y'all would never speak again. I mean, where do we begin? Either you really believe all of the lies or you just feel the need to pretend. I guess you're doing it for the G's you can spend. But look, y'all, believe me, this trend getting so old, bro, do we really need to see this again? Because I swear, every horse y'all just beat to death with this. Piers Morgan uses the word woke more than a sleep specialist, like creating boogeymen and strawmen, but never addressing the evidence. So I can't tell, is it laziness, grifting, or your intellectual deficits? Because you do it so effortless and speak with such prejudice, add in some logical fallacies, circular reasoning, and what have you left us with? A conservative echo chamber that has really once again elected the world's most incompetent president. But I'm a little hesitant to continue because I represent and don't pretend to understand the notions and motions that mediocre white men do, or think I can grasp any form of oppression that they've been through. But you wouldn't know it if you ever heard Candace Owens attempt to bend truth. I mean, she's more than a bit loose when it comes to the old switcheroo. I mean, Candace, you really think you kidding who? Then with all of the receipts, you want to act like it's something you didn't do. Like we ain't got literal proof. But listen, it's cool, because I listened in school and I learned how to decipher between a liar, grifter, and inconsiderate tool, which is why I'm here now giving them jewels. So you can finally understand that this isn't a place you should be getting the news. And hopefully, this gives you a clue that we should change our ways before we become even more ridiculed. So, to recap, to break through our ignorant views, we cannot depend on the mainstream media because they keep repeating to you lies, damaging old folks and hindering the youth. But the independent commentators can also be some incredible fools. So you got to take steps that'll give you a suitable cue of beautiful tunes that'll encourage you to make those crucial moves to stop listening to some of the stupidest dudes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate every one of y'all coming out this evening. I hope you enjoyed what was protest poetry. Thank you again, y'all, for joining us on this occasion. Like, so we could finally have that conversation. And personally, I just like to have mine controversially. And if you've never heard of me, what I do is I take these words and I go on a murder spree. Basically, I'm going to kill it every time a thought occurs to me. And what worries me is that we're scared to have hard talks about what's going on in this country currently. So I'm going to go ahead and break the ice and tell you that we're really in a state of emergency. And the truth, well, see, these politicians, they can't save you from the disaster of fate and the wrath and the hate. So the path that we take must be crafted today. And if we have to debate, can it actually wait? Because every passing of the day, many more are passing away. And that's the facts. Get it straight. In the past, it wasn't great, regardless of what that stupid ass hat might have to say. That was actually the Klan's rallying chant back in the day. So now let's try moving forward instead of backwards. But hey, first we got to address the elephant in the room. You know, the Republican nonsense that has a stranglehold and dominance over the small subsection of the continent. And it's actually quite ominous. So what I'm going to suggest is that we change the curriculum instead of just another test. Because I still ain't had to use 97% of any of that stuff yet. Also, I feel that's why it's so critical that we teach these theories about race. So Buster charlatans like Tucker Carlson won't be able to lie about being replaced. And, well, little kids can once again go to school and feel safe. I'm just saying. Man, it's crazy. They got to think about math, gym, reading, and bullet spraying. I mean, we thought COVID might take them out till another AR-15 is taken out. And all over the news, we just have to watch as another family's breaking down, screaming, angry, loud, wondering why is the danger allowed? Can't even go to schools, grocery stores, or the church's sacred ground. And I just find it crazy how we can't even tell who's the crazy ones now. Because on the day we found out that they won't accept the count, we saw moderates and extremists straight acting like clowns. Also, where's Matt Gaetz at right now? Hopefully not at a high school talking to girls trying to take one of them out. Like, it's just so crazy to me how they've been able to just tell this fable, then it gets spread on the right-wing cable station as it places it right at a conservative dinner table, talking about the extreme woke left and they're unable to exist with the rest of the world because they're too unstable. Yet we got Republican politicians out here robbing the cradle, mass school shootings that end up so fatal, women dying without the help during the times of prenatal. Plus, well, it feels like the extreme right has turned into some straight-hating, race-baiting, angry little a-holes. But it's okay, though. Because we saw the error of our ways and now we know the way to go. We'll no longer take it slow. Ain't no more going high when they be taking it low. No more debating or conversations with bad faith actors on them stages no more. Because we ain't going to keep platforming bad ideas and giving them some places to grow. But y'all know me though. And if not, well, y'all can call me Jones. And like I said, personally, I like to have my conversations controversially, but also purposefully. Because this is a state of emergency and we must urgently quit lacking and put actions to the words we speak. And if you heard me, peace.